Hi everyone. How attractive are Black women? When you look at the most popular Black women in the entertainment world, actresses, singers, models, and celebrities, physical beauty is not one of the reasons for their success. Many consider that the singer Alicia Keys, apart from her talent, is extremely beautiful. Also, nobody can deny the beauty of the actress Halle Berry and Gabrielle Union, who as Black women are considered attractive. But we also know celebrities like Whoopi Goldberg, winner of Oscar, the actress Viola Davis, and a TV presenter Oprah Winfrey, in which talent was the key to their success. But in this work, we will focus on the physical beauty of Black women, not her talent, in which how beautiful the woman is the question we'll try to answer. Why are dark-skinned Black women considered less beautiful and attractive than light-skinned Black women within the same Black community? It is a reality that everyone recognizes, which negatively affects dark-skinned Black women to the benefit of biracial women or light-skinned Black women. Perhaps for this reason, making an analysis of what it really means to be beautiful in a multiracial society like the United States and the negative effects it has on the self-acceptance and self-valuation of dark-skinned Black women is necessary to understand this social behavior. Within American society and other parts of the vast majority of Black women are self-conscious when looking at modern beauty standards. Look at all the beauty standards. They are all ridiculous and almost impossible to meet if you put the phenotypic characteristics of a different breed than yourself as the ideal model. I personally find Black women attractive. I only wish those who try to imitate European beauty standards would realize this. Are biracial women really more beautiful than Black women? Are white women more beautiful and intelligent than Black women, especially when it comes to dark-skinned Black women? These are some of the answers that we will try to find in this video. As human beings, we all have an appearance considered unique, which is appreciated by some and despised by others, and more when we consider that beauty is subjective. Because in the end, everything depends on who is judging the physical appearance of a person. For us, it would be nice to see something natural from the Black woman, at the top of preference for once. One should really be true to their culture and the natural look of it, instead of imitating white beauty. Truly believing that Black women are as beautiful as anyone else cannot be seen simply as a politically correct position, not as a product of prejudice born of racial propaganda. In societies where white women occupy a high hierarchy of beauty compared to Black women, I think Black women will always be in a position to create controversy. It will be of interest to some, but not to all, even though many recognize that women are naturally beautiful no matter what racial group we are talking about or what culture they are a part of. The most important thing is to recognize that they have a privileged position on earth as women. If people know they can shake or destroy your foundation, they will. They will use influence or find a way to have all the power over the Black woman as a person and destroy her self-esteem. That should never happen. If Black women recognize their own worth as a person, Black women need to know that they hold a unique standard of beauty, which does not need to be validated by anyone outside of themselves. It doesn't matter what the white man, the Black man, your friends, your family, the mass media think, because when validation is needed, people know that you can influence the negative perception of yourself, and in this way, create an image distorted from yourself by yourself. It's a mind game that is only possible if you fall for it. As long as you know that as a creature of the earth, you are special, it does not matter the evaluation that others have of you. Mothers, you will always be beautiful in your own right. The opposite does not have to be because other people say so. When someone says they don't find Black women attractive, in most cases they are not the product of personal preference. Their genesis is closely tied to prejudice against the Black race. You are basing your preference or lack thereof on an entire race. And in all races, there are perfect people, but there are also imperfect people from the point of view of personal taste. It cannot be said that they are not attracted to Black women, but we must accept that he does not prefer a particular black woman, either because he does not find her physically attractive or he does not like her attitudes, behavior, and the way she conducts herself as women in terms of social or cultural valuations. If you say that you are not attracted to certain physiological characteristics of black women, then you are not basing your prejudices on a person's race. You are basing your prejudices or preferences on a pre-established concept of beauty in the ethnically homogeneous society to which you are a part. The first step to fixing a problem is acknowledging that this problem exists. Black women, regardless of their levels of blackness, the high levels of often extreme poverty in which they live or develop, lack of formal or parental education, access to government or community personal growth programs for black women are reduced and in many cases do not exist in comparison to the opportunities of white women, who in most cases have a higher economic level, a higher level of schooling, and more opportunities to achieve high economic or social positions. This creates in the black woman a pessimistic image of herself, thereby contributing to the persistence of defeatist attitudes, which perpetuate these levels of poverty, reaffirming negative attitudes, and many times they use the race to which it is assigned as an excuse or the main element of their personal situation, ruling out any possibility as an individual. As a dark-skinned black woman, it's not what other people think of your beauty that's important. It's what you think of yourself and how attractive or beautiful you feel you are. Remember, beauty is not based on a feminine attribute. It depends mostly on the type of positive self-image that you have of yourself as a woman. If you are a black woman who uses the beauty parameters of a white woman to advance on the economic social ladder and does not take into account the social, economic, and environmental factors that influence achieving these objectives, that defeatist vision will continue existing in the black woman whose personal valuation is subject to a social level. Is the lack of beauty the reason why you have not achieved the success that you seek so much? The answer is no. This is where talent, perseverance, knowledge, personality, the right attitude, and having a nice personality is what you need as a black woman to achieve those dreams. You must be aware that being poor does not mean having low self-esteem, nor does it mean that you are not an attractive woman, much less a lack of intelligence, integrity, self-respect, good values, a pleasant personality, good manners, or having a positive attitude towards the future. It simply means that at this time, you do not have sufficient resources or opportunities to achieve those dreams and aspirations. Being considered a beautiful woman or not, believe me, is not the real reason for your emotional, social, personal, and economic situation. It is something much deeper than that. As a dark-skinned black woman living in the United States, something you should be aware of is that beauty is a cultural idea, as much as it is physical, and the norm is, of course, set by the dominant culture. Beauty, more than a subjective appreciation created by a particular society, is a way of seeing and feeling oneself as individuals, taking as a reference all the characteristics that one accepts as positive attributes, not based on the evaluations of others, but based on our own assessment. A healthy self-esteem is sustained by a good personal assessment. Self-love, self-confidence, sense of humor, sensuality, femininity, and confidence in who you are feelings that can only be cultivated when we have a self-esteem that reflects a realistic evaluation of ourselves, of our possibilities, of the potential that we possess, and the resources around us to develop that potential. Our self-esteem is a reflection of the value we have of ourselves, not of the value that others have of us. One thing is what others think of you, and another thing is what you think of yourself. Black women are very ugly, both physically and mentally. It is something that is constantly heard, and whether there are not valid reasons to maintain this stereotype does not matter. If we look at the movies in theaters, the commercials on television, the soap operas, and the most famous fashion magazines, the impression one gets is that the black woman does not qualify to fill these roles or prototypes of beauty. That sends the unrealistic message to the black girl who looks at those figures in which she does not see herself represented. Is the white woman more attractive than the black woman? Is the black woman more attractive than the white woman? Are biracial women prettier than dark-skinned black women? These are the questions that should have different answers. Of course, that depends on the person you ask these questions. Not so much taking into account the racial characteristics, but taking into account their social and economic position. It does not matter if they are a black or white woman, and you will find an answer closer of reality where the educational level of both races, the veracity of these answers. All of them are beautiful. The black woman, the biracial woman, and the white woman. If they really feel beautiful at the moment of projecting it to others. As a black woman, something you should know, the ideals of beauty, whatever they may be, do not get anyone out of poverty. Although the popular tales of Sleeping Beauty and Snow White with her 7 dwarfs say otherwise. The fanciful tales of Cinderella's are just that, tales that fill the imagination of a white girl, not the imagination of a black girl. The only thing that can guarantee a young black woman or a young white woman to reach levels of social acceptance and raise their economic status is by raising their educational level through education, primary, intermediate, or secondary and university. Acquiring these, the tools to achieve that success that you long for or desire in this modern world. As a black woman, you may have enormous desire to be considered beautiful, but something you must understand, the advantage, I am not saying that it is the only one, that the white woman has at this moment over the black woman to achieve these dreams is not her skin color. It is the economic level which makes it easier for her to acquire these tools. Cultural models that they drive self-improvement through hard work and perseverance, contrary to the black women whose levels of poverty, role models, lack of family or social support, and the culture of fatalism in the black psyche are her greatest obstacles to purchase these tools. How beautiful is a black woman? From my point of view, it all depends on who you ask, the culture we are talking about, and also what beauty standard is trending at the moment. Some behavioral psychologists consider that the ability to appreciate beauty is learned, although others consider that there are certain phenotypic characteristics in the shape of the face which are considered attractive by everyone. Both the face of black women and the white woman are considered attractive in nature, because both have a face with balanced proportions, which is the first requirement when it comes to beauty. This is where genetics dominate cultural beauty, but also subjective preference. When we accept this kind of assessment as true, which tells you black women are just as beautiful as white women. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for paying attention to this type of work.